Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another commentary of the... Welcome to another episode of the Godzilla podcast.
Oh, we are doing commentaries on a TV show called Godzilla Island. I'm Drew.
I'm Joe.
We're professionals, and that's why we're doing this.
This is story number 8.
Yeah, you can take control of the controls. I don't need to touch that.
The Mystery of Godzilla Island
1
is what they're titling it. Starting in 3, 2, 1, go.
For those of you that are wondering why we're doing countdowns, this is the commentaries on Godzilla Island. And
this is part 3 of that, so hopefully you somehow made it through part 1 and 2.
Today we're doing stories 8 through 10, and we have our fearless G-Guard commander. I think his name is Jiro Dan, the actor, Zoe the Zillion, and Michelle Jackson. We return to adventure with these people. I'm here.
I'm not here. I'm somewhere else.
I'm glad you ate this time because last time was rough, Joe. You were just like slumped over in your seat, like, oh.
Man, I was dying.
Joe
bro.
hadn't eaten and was very tired.
The
return of Son of Godzilla. No. For those who haven't listened to the commentaries, which would be insane because it's part 3, the Son of Godzilla is literally called that in this. He is not Minya, and he is the ugliest creature I've ever seen. Kaiju or otherwise.
Besides your own cat.
But don't let my fiance hear that one, man.
I know, you told me that. I never say those things about your cat when your fiance's here.
It's not my cat, it's her
Except
cat.
for the first time that I met your cat. When I said that is a weird looking cat.
So Michelle is looking at Mothra, Godzilla, and the son of Godzilla. I tried to look up an image of him to share online, like to share with people on Twitter, this son of Godzilla.
Mm-hmm.
Can't find it. Because people have not cared to screenshot this thing. There's been some weird screenshots of some of the figures. I've seen screenshots from this online, but not many. None of the human characters have I seen online.
Drew, I think I might have used it for the artwork in one of the episodes.
Where the heck did you find it? Maybe I didn't Google search it. I think I might have just looked at GIFs on Twitter.
Hold on.
Yeah, see if you can find anything on this. But yeah, Michelle Jackson, named for wearing a slightly more cut-up Thriller outfit. It's red leather.
Not the demon one.
Yeah.
Or the zombie one.
Well, the Thriller.
Yeah.
You know, red leather with black underneath. She's talking to him. That's probably going to be the entirety of this episode. I have completely concluded, Joe, that we will never get anything new in this. I think they're just going to keep reusing the same tired stories. Like, Michelle's constantly sulking for some reason. I guess, for some reason. She got blown off her planet by many Godzillas. That's a reason I would sulk too if Zillions came down with like tons of Godzillas and took them out.
Wow, that episode was entirely her
just brooding.
Talking with the yellow thing.
Hey Joe, speaking of many Godzillas, in the animated movies we're getting. All right, let's start Godzilla. The Mystery of Godzilla Island 2 in 3, 2, 1. July 18th, we're getting the second movie in this animated Godzilla movie trilogy. It'll be hitting Netflix for you guys, so maybe this episode will be out by then. So look forward to July 18th, Netflix, part 2 of 3. It's like City on the Edge of Battle, I think is what it's called. It's a really bad title, but probably the best they could do.
City on the Edge of Battle?
Something like that. You know,
you
best
sure?
translation
that
you can get.
That doesn't sound right.
It's that clunky.
Okay.
And reviews from Japan, where it aired in theaters, were not good. So my expectations are low.
Were they good for the other ones,
They were good. They were positive. They weren't
really? Then this one must be real bad.
Mm-hmm. My expectations are low, but we'll have to see. Let's see what comes.
You never know if like the characterization is better. Zoe
is back, Joe. Zoe
the Zillion.
She
now
teleported
has
down to Earth.
I think teleporting cape thing.
These are the memories of Michelle, and she's like sulking about Zoe. Sulking that Zoe has, thwarted her attempts to like take out Zoe so many times. Wow, Zoe's just attacking a city with her spaceship. And she's coming down to Godzilla Island. There was like literally 2 seconds of attacking the city. I think these are still Michelle's memories. It's hard to tell without being able to understand a dang thing anybody says. If this entire short is just Michelle's flashbacks, I swear, Joe. Saw The Last Jedi for the first time this last week.
Oh, yeah. How disappointed were you?
I thought it was a good... Okay, I finally understand what people were saying, because I just barely saw it for the first time because it hit Netflix. I thought it was a good movie. I thought it was a really strange Star Wars movie. Like, of all the new Star Wars films, this one just feels like stuff happens in it that I was like, whoa, Star Wars is somewhere else now. Even George Lucas's attempts at the prequel trilogy, like expanding the universe, honestly, they still somewhat felt like a Star Wars movie. This one was definitely directed by somebody else because it was like extremely refined, like heightened fan fiction, like some fan fiction that it's like, this is cool, but that will never make it into an actual movie. And then they made an actual movie out of it. And I'm like, Princess Leia floating through space and crazy,
that's the worst part of the movie right
Luke,
there.
yeah, and crazy Luke, like Mirage, just I was
still
jaw
don't know what's
dropping.
happening.
And
by the way, Mystery of Godzilla Island Part 3, 3, 2, 1, go.
But I had heard about all the spoilers, everything before watching it. Still watching it, I was like jaw dropping, just experiencing what was unfolding before my eyes. I think it's really cool what's happening between Kylo and Rey, but man, is Kylo someone who I just think is just the biggest, whiniest little biatch. He stops the whole army just to go one-on-one with Luke, and
look,
that was...
This is a conversation we had on Nude Clan. I was actually probably the most or second most positive on that movie.
I really liked the movie. I did, because I'm not a huge Star Wars fan. I'm okay with them going in different directions, but I was like, God, this is a whole nother thing. It has lightsabers in it.
So right after it was done, I was like, it felt a little clunky, but I liked it. Like, it really felt clunky. Like, there were some things about it. It's like,
there's
this
a lot of little things.
And then it slowly, after like 4 days later, Drew, it just slowly started to seep in. Just the kind of like, it really wasn't that good.
Maybe, I don't know. I just don't care enough to have like a solid opinion. I'm one who's played. Have you played any of the Knights of the Old Republic games? Have you heard of those?
Like 5 seconds worth.
Dude, they're real good. I love those games.
I've heard they're good.
I'm familiar, and I've read some Star Wars books when I was growing up, like the Expanded Universe stuff. I'm familiar with Star Wars Expanded Universe that's absolutely no longer canon. So I kind of have a feeling, I thought of what Star Wars felt like, and I was expecting to feel more of that. This is all flashbacks. The series that is made up of 3-minute shorts is doing a flashback episode. How cheap can you get?
All right, back onto Star Wars.
Yeah. I had a feeling that, like, maybe if they capture with the whole Luke at the Jedi Temple stuff, the feeling that you get from, it's Disney trying out something wholly new in the Star Wars universe. Because Luke sulking and Luke being, his whole character, and this is probably, I'm going to get slaughtered for this, but I feel that what they did with Luke's character is within that character's realm of like possibilities, what would have actually happened, because you got to watch Return of the Jedi, where he falters like under and strikes at his dad and starts killing him. And then
Nude Clan once again. We talked for an hour on that.
I will have to listen to it. Which episode was it?
I'll find
Do you remember? Okay, because I listen to your video game movie commentaries. Episodes. That's it. Yeah, this whole episode of Godzilla Island we just watched was a flashback
like a mega
of the series.
Birdzilla. I don't know what the heck that was.
I didn't even see that. I just saw stuff that I've already seen from other episodes. Okay. The Mystery of Godzilla Island Part 4.
3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah, and so I thought the development for Luke was really good. The Yoda was great. That's the Yoda that I want. The Yoda that I know, the silly, old, kooky Yoda.
Okay. I haven't had a problem with anything that you have stated.
My whole thing was even before the movie released, everyone was like, will Luke be evil or will he not be, or this or that, the other. Just like really hoping Luke went to maybe not the dark side, but has faltered. I wanted that to happen because I thought it would be interesting. And that's how like the original Return of the Jedi was supposed to end, darker, but they softened it up.
I had problems with the movie being so all over the place.
It was
you had like
very,
6 different plot threads going everywhere.
But Rogue One was way worse for me than this.
Then you had like, the Rose character felt really shoved in there. She didn't really do much. And then like it just went off in a bunch of different places, never coalesced into anything that interesting. I felt like it felt like at a certain point of the movie, a lot of the jeopardy, especially having to do with the Sith Lord, it just kind of fell away. And then also treating Kylo Ren like the little comedy scene where they're back and forth. I did not love that.
Well, it's that like he is character development wise at a total standstill. I feel like where
hers was too. I felt Rey's was too. Yeah. It's like, where is she going?
I felt like Rey made like an inch. I can see where exactly. I can see where she's going, but with Kylo Ren, I'm like, still just a pissed off kid. Like they did that in the first one and has not made any movement. I just really, I was like, okay, I'm okay if in the next, Kylo Ren was sort of annoying for me in The Force Awakens. Like if he, maybe matures a teeny bit in the next one, if anything, it seemed like he reverted back to whiny, pouty.
I also thought it didn't look like a Star Wars movie for much of it. I thought and I know why, because I heard interviews with Rian Johnson, who I love for Looper, by the way. Looper's an amazing film. I really want to see that movie, yeah. But unfortunately, this is not as good as Looper in any respect. Looper's like a perfect movie. Okay. But he talked about how he had him and his cinematographer were going back and forth on whether or not trying to make it look like a Star Wars film, like J.J. Abrams kind of did.
Yeah.
They made it look like a Star Wars film for the most part. It had a little JJ flourishes
sure.
here and there.
Tentacles.
He likes shaky cam. He likes a lot of close-ups
through the tunnels.
And he does like he does that a lot.
Anything with space flight in that Force Awakens felt like a Star Wars movie. Yeah. Like the whole anyway.
I mean, so that was episode 4. This is episode 5. 3, 2, 1, go. And they decided at some point, they just said, no, we're just gonna film it like we would a regular movie because that's gonna stop us creatively. So I can understand that. I mean, it did bug me that it didn't look enough like a Star Wars movie. Like it still needed a little bit in there. It just felt like kind of a modern blockbuster, like the shooting of it, which I wasn't really that into. And then the fact that he broke some rules, and I know that the theme of the movie, a secondary theme of the movie, like a meta theme of the movie, is that they're breaking rules.
Oh yeah, if anything, I felt a lot of meta stuff in that movie with General Holdo's character and I don't know.
So the meta theme of the movie is that they're breaking away from what you normally have in Star Wars.
Yeah,
I get that
very much.
But he did things like there's no flashbacks in Star Wars.
Yeah.
And he did flashbacks.
Several.
You don't go into the minds of any characters in Star Wars. You don't. You stay away from them. Yeah. That's a rule that has been set for 6, 7, 8 movies before this movie came out. And it's like, it just doesn't feel right. It doesn't sit right with me. And I think the movie's clunky. And I think overall, it's just okay.
Yeah. I thought it was very okay.
I mean, to be fair, most of the Star Wars movies are good or bad. There's not really that many okays. Actually, I would say no okay Star Wars movies. They're either on the kind of the good, they're either on the good side or the dark side. Yeah. Like, it's going to be one of those two. So, we had to deal with we kind of put it on the lower
middle.
That's
funny because that's actually like a theme of the whole movie too, is like merging the light and the dark, and it's like right in the middle of it all.
Yeah. So
everything's
I
gray,
really
Joe.
loved that last sequence with Luke. Thought that was a really good sequence. I know the movie didn't really do a good job of building up to it, but that's where it ended, and so that was cool. And I hope that when JJ comes back and does the third one.
Oh, he is doing the third one? I wasn't aware.
He was when I last read about it.
Okay,
so that was a few months ago.
This is Disney, and these are the Star Wars movies, so definitely subject to change. But
I do think that Solo might be like 5% better of a movie than The Last Jedi.
Really?
In my opinion, yes.
I think that was the whole story. I'm wondering
if Michelle... She talked to the orb.
Yeah, I'm wondering if Michelle Jackson is trying to leave, and she was leaving like a videogram to General Sushi. That's what it seemed like. So we'll see if Michelle Jackson is here after this. I didn't understand at all what the mystery of Godzilla Island was. It felt like it was a clip show. Try doing that arrow to the right, and we'll see what... wow. All right.
Oh, story number 9. Okay, another chance for Zaguresu.
That is Zoe. So
Zoe the Zillion.
Another chance for Zoe the Zillion. So maybe, Joe,
3, 2, 1, go.
Michelle is leaving. Zaguresu will be taking her spot, and there will be a new bad guy. That's my guess.
That's a good guess.
Yeah, I don't have too much to say on Star Wars, being a not huge Star Wars fan, just casually watching all of them.
I was kind of later into it. I mean, I watched the prequels as they came out in theaters, but the box sets were always expensive. My parents are cheap.
My parents,
so we never had the VHS.
My parents are really big Star Wars fans. We have them on VHS,
Maybe that's why
DVD.
You're not as big of a fan.
Well, I've watched them a lot, and so, I'm a big fan of the universe of Star Wars for sure. Like those Knights of the Old Republic games are fantastic. I want to be able to explore the world on my own through video games like that and through some of those books. The movies themselves, like I'm okay personally with going away from the Skywalker saga, which they have now that freaking...
Yeah, when they said, hey, none of this matters anymore.
Yeah, very much. Your parents don't matter.
Yeah.
Nothing matters. Yeah. Great, giving me direction, Star Wars. Where are we? Like, the biggest thing
Well, that
is
was Ryan Johnson's whole
happen.
point, and that's why he's so, like, when you see his stuff, it's like he's so proud of himself for
just cutting...
Screwing with Star Wars fans and, like, cutting ties off from the previous movies.
I just don't see why that was necessary to do it in such a abrupt, like, cutting them off. But, hey,
It was...
Ballsy move.
It was ballsy. I
just don't know if it like needed to be ballsy.
If you've never seen Looper, it's great.
I really want. That's the Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
I am
Willis.
disappointed in that movie. I am not cool with people like just like harassing Ryan Johnson over Twitter all day long.
Star Wars fans they need to stop. Okay, Zaguresu has been shocked by her like alien overlord, the like burning face. It's literally has been. This episode, the short for this episode, has been a medium shot on Zoe and then cut to the burning face that she's talking to out in space. That's been the whole thing.
Just a little quick time movie from some old computer game thing. That's what she's looking at right now.
She's a pretty lady. I think we've already said that.
Yeah, she is. I think we said that 9 times.
Probably 20.
Other girl's pretty,
couple
too.
dozen. Yeah,
she's pretty.
I definitely prefer Zoe over... Oh, dude, we're getting a real cheap space amoeba. How funny is that? It's like it's a glow in the... One of these episodes had a dollar store cockroach. This one has a dollar store glow in the dark
squid.
Yeah, squid thing that they have from like a fishing line that they're just waving back and forth out in space because it's the space amoeba.
Waving back and forth. Waving back and forth.
Joe's wearing a make gravy
gay again.
Either one. You can either make gaming great again or make gravy gay.
Make gravy gay again. Sorry, overseer of the something world. Go.
3, 2, 1, go. Oh, so I wonder. I wonder for you guys how hot your summer's been. Ours has been excruciating here in Utah.
Oh, actually, it's been record-setting.
Mm-hmm. We've been triple digits
heat
pretty consistently, which for Utah is very, very bad.
In California.
Yeah, I've heard of 115-degree weather.
In Africa somewhere.
Oh, gosh.
Where it hit like 130 something.
Wow.
Or no, it was Death Valley. It hit 134 or something, which matched some previous record that they dismissed because they thought it was unrealistic.
Yeah.
From the 1960s.
I swear it was some storm just last year that a meteorologist showing off graphs of like rainfall from some storm had to create a new color in order to show the amount of rain that had fallen because they didn't believe that much rain would ever fall. So they're like, well, now we have pink on our, thermal graph of the rainfall. So yeah, things that should never have happened.
That tree hugger Boy Scout side of me gets really freaking pissed off when I see people watering their lawns in the middle of the day now. I get real angry.
Any sane person should be angry at that. because it's
come on, you know better than
it's
this.
triple digits or very near it, and yeah, they're full on watering their lawn, and it's pointless.
Yeah.
Space Amoeba in this episode, which great movie, so I'm glad to see. Oh wait, no, Joe, this isn't Space Amoeba.
Awesome.
This is Dagara. Sorry,
Gora.
No, Joe.
Is it Dagara?
Gorath was the big meteor star coming to Earth. Dagara was
you're right.
the... See, I always say Space Amoeba because in Dagara, there's a big jellyfish that comes down
freaking monster
from the sky, and it seems like a Space Amoeba to me. But in Dagara, there was a...
That is the most disgusting thing.
Yeah. How can she love Son of Godzilla?
It's the most...
It's painful to look at. Like,
besides your cat, it is the most ugly thing I've ever seen in my life.
So, our cat has a thyroid problem, for those who nobody cares.
It doesn't make its face look weird, Drew.
Yeah, everything else is extremely skinny. It's very bony, and it's been living its fluff because it's getting
cat, old. It looks like something out of Labyrinth.
You're so cruel.
The cat can't hear me.
But I love
treat
it.
The cat differently, Drew.
Hey, I like that on that Godzilla action figure, which apparently Dagara somehow affected him, and he was like lying on the ground. The figure had 2 rows of teeth. That's pretty cool. Just like the Heisei Godzilla, 2 rows of teeth, Joe.
So yeah, Last Jedi. I liked when I watched it the first time. I've only seen it once.
Yeah.
And just slowly over time, I've gotten kind of like more. Gosh, I wish that was better.
Yeah.
I don't hate it like a lot of people do, and I don't love it like a lot of people do. I don't know if there's that many people in the middle for that one.
I can't understand loving it.
Massive Godzilla, 3, 2, 1, go.
Not as a Star Wars movie. It's just okay. As a Star Wars movie, it's okay. And I feel weird having to say that, but like, there have been movies that have set standards, and like the original trilogy certainly set standards for like, here's a Star Wars movie.
Back is like a perfect movie.
It's been way too long. I've seen A New Hope many times. The other two I've seen a handful of times.
Empire does not age.
We used to watch A New Hope so just as a kid, just watched it over and over. And all the other ones were kind of scary to me as a kid, so I watched them less, yeah.
Oh man, dude. Empire Strikes Back is amazing. And then I would say like the last 45 minutes of Return of the Jedi are amazing too.
The Ewok celebration, you're saying? That's amazing?
No, everything having to do with Luke and the Emperor is like A+ Star Wars. It's an A+ sci-fi movie. It's good stuff.
It's where Snoke could have went. But I guess they've already tread that ground. So.
Well, I think Rian Johnson's point must have been like, well, we can't just keep repeating ourselves.
Yeah, so
let me kill Snoke
before anybody has any idea who he is. It's like, that didn't matter.
No.
Oh, this is our first instance of a repurposed character. Jet Jaguar as like a medical...
Jet Jaguar.
This is the medical version of it, Jet Jaguar. I'll have to show you after this, Joe, because I don't even have my phone out. But somebody tweeted out an image from, it was like a Japan only, a manga of a Godzilla manga where Jet Jaguar was riding a motorcycle. Pretty cool. Official stuff. Artwork of Jet Jaguar on a giant motorcycle.
I don't like this show, Drew.
I hate it. And we will suffer. How? Okay, Son of Godzilla is poop brown. Like when you're kind of sick, I don't know, Joe, what you're,
Well, Drew,
like.
when I'm eating a lot of I'm not going to go there.
Me neither. But he's a light brown.
Okay.
What is Dagara doing in this? I don't understand. He made Godzilla.
Why are you talking weird, Drew?
Because I'm trying to hold back burps. But Joe, what else is there to say? I've been watching through A Nightmare on Elm Street. It's been okay. Seppuku?
Tsukuku, I think is what that reads.
I wouldn't mind killing myself right now.
Oh, that's sad, Drew. Don't do that. Don't do that, Drew. You make everybody else love you. You gotta at least finish these freaking movies with me. You can't just like leave me hanging.
It's true, yeah. And also, we're almost to
Godzilla Intense Fighting Record, or Godzilla Intense Fighting Record. Yeah, I said it right.
3, 2, 1, go.
Listen to me, not Drew.
Yeah, Joe's got the correct countdown.
I got the remote command.
Hanna-Barbera. We're almost there. That shows more promise to me.
Someone.
I don't care.
Someone up their Patreon up, which thank you.
Thank you very much.
At the same time, we're still $2 short, and I was like, oh, thank goodness that yet.
Yeah, I'm okay with watching the Hanna-Barbera because I'm a huge Scooby-Doo fan. Like that animation.
It's also a lot shorter than the.
Oh yeah, I didn't think that much was produced with that.
I think it's
Godzilla.
like 11
I like the look
maybe.
for that Godzilla. I'm sure he won't be very animated because that animation style is like save on animation cells.
Yeah.
I guess you as little motion as possible, like Scooby-Doo is. They were.
That's what anime is actually.
Yeah. Exactly.
So they wanted to do Disney animation, which is kind of where the big eyes and everything come from.
Yeah.
They accentuated it, but instead of doing the roundness of Disney animation, which is apparently it takes more time to do.
Okay. Are you talking Hanna-Barbera now?
I'm talking about anime.
Oh, okay.
For a second,
Okay.
I said they do that in anime as well. If I didn't say that sentence, I'm sorry. I thought
You're
it in my head.
Help me explain
And the
that to
style
everybody.
of anime kind of comes from cheapening that process. So they start doing just like real quick lines.
Yeah.
And animating that instead. So that's
real.
where the anime style comes from, is like trying to save on frames. There's not that many. I think Studio Ghibli does 24 frames a second. I could be wrong. I think I read that on the internet somewhere, so I don't know if that's true.
They've
but mostly
captured
it's
Son of
12 frames a
Godzilla
second.
again. This is. I told you we're not going to get another original story, Joe. They're rehashing this again. Son of Godzilla was captured once. Godzilla's fighting against Destroya and Space Godzilla. And this is a freaking clip show. We're watching stuff we've already seen.
We are. Are we just learning? Are we learning any more information here?
No, it's all... We are on the second episode today, second story, as are called. These episodes are called. They're just showing us stuff that have been in past episodes.
GG, dude. GG. He's got a patch
Good
that
game.
says GG. Good game.
Oh,
Good game, bro. Speaking of anime,
yeah,
and this is kaiju related.
yeah.
I rewatched Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Have you finished
last
it
week.
now?
I rewatched the series.
And you finished it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Finished it.
The end of that
2 days
series
ago.
blew my freaking mind.
Did you watch it?
I watched? Yeah, you let me borrow it. I watched the whole thing within like a week or less.
Did we talk about it?
No, and it's been too long. I don't remember a ton
man.
about it. I like specifics with characters.
All right.
I just
Godzilla's insanity. Oh, 3, 2, 1, go.
You'll definitely be able to go more in depth than me, especially because you're
Watched
a
it
movie
twice
guy
now.
and you really were watching it. That is such a far out there, not just for an anime, for a show,
For a
for
story.
any piece of media. For a story.
It's crazy.
It goes places where
So superficially, it's about
mm-hmm,
a
boy.
kid fight in a giant robot. You think fighting giant alien monsters that come down from the sky.
Your appeal to mainstream audience, and then it goes much deeper than that.
And then things start messing with their mind, and then there's a bunch of conspiracies going on.
And then you
with
find out what his father has been doing the whole time.
Yeah, and then there's clones and crap, and it's nutso. Anyway,
Real dark.
I rewatched that series, and I remember the first time I watched it, I watched those ending 2 episodes and went, I don't know what's going on.
Oh, me neither.
And then
neither.
the ending was super weird. This time, I was also listening to my friend's podcast. Baindrum, who his moniker, he goes by Jacob on his other shows. So you might as well just call him Jacob. So Jacob has a show
at least 3
called In the Sea of Dirac.
It's DIRAC.
You can just look up Evangelion, though, and you'll find it. And he had commentaries on each episode, and he mentioned our podcast 3 times. I heard it every time. I was like, good job. Thank you, Baindrum. And he was kind of explaining things as it went along. He was exploring it. Yeah. And then with the last 2 episodes, I realized there was like one concept thing that I wasn't quite getting, and I had to look it up on its Wikia. And after I read what human instrumentality was, which they did say in the show, when I watched the episode, I was like, they do say what human instrumentality is.
Oh, okay.
They're very quick with it and aren't that explicit with it. And that's kind of the key to understanding the last 2 episodes.
Oh, that ending I was I thought it felt like more than 2 episodes, but I was just grasping at straws trying to.
It was just the last 2 that were all in his head.
Okay, I figured it was in his head, but I was like, "What is this? Is so trippy
I am the
and
me
so
that's in your mind. You are the me that is mine." Yeah, it's crazy.
It's good. I'm not saying it's not good, but it is very
after
deep.
I understood, and I'm saying I maybe get 85% of what's going on.
Yeah.
After I understood what human instrumentality was in that show, I was not mad at the last 2 episodes of the thing. I was like, oh, I get it. And I get what he was trying to do with that ending, too.
Can you... Okay.
The frightening photograph of the spirit beast.
Oh, gosh,
someday.
We can't click it. We're doing our best, but it's skipping it every time.
It's doing its thing.
No. Okay, for those who haven't listened, we have a real hard time on these menus trying to select the right. Oh, it did it for like a second. Almost. Okay, come on. You got it. Yes, we got it. The frightening photograph of the spirit beast. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. Can you discuss in any further detail the end of it without spoilers? I wouldn't if you're not going to be able to do it without spoilers, but...
I mean, it's so interesting anyway, and a lot of the things that drew me to the show, because I was kind of... Here's why I watched Neon Genesis Evangelion 12 years ago in the first place, okay? Probably 10 years ago.
You've never been one to really watch Japanese animation.
Right. Okay. That's kind of where it stems from.
So this is interesting to me to find out
Someone
why this
showed
one
me,
stood out to you.
I had heard Akira was one of the greatest movies of all time.
Oh,
I had heard that. Found out one of my friends had it, watched it. It was an amazing movie. I own 2 copies of Akira right now, one of which is a British copy and one of which is an American copy. And I got to give the British one away, so if any British listeners out there win something in the future,
I've watched your British copy
Akira,
because we had a region unlocked Blu-ray player here at one time.
If you want a version of Akira, I have it for you.
I believe it's Blu-ray.
Amazing movie.
Yeah.
And then another friend of mine brought over, he's like, well, if you like that, you might actually like anime, you know. He brought over Princess Mononoke. Problem is, I watched the 2 best anime movies.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
On the planet, like, in a row. I was missing Spirited Away and Perfect Blue, maybe, as far as, like, anime movies. And I, of course, have gone off talked about how I don't think anime exists. But I will use the term anyway because then people know what I'm talking about.
Good.
And so I was like, maybe there is some good stuff here. And it's not just all Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! And like whatever crap at the time that they had on Adult Swim.
The nice thing about anime is there is so much you can find what you like.
So I went to the Springville Public Library.
Yeah.
They had 2 sets of Neon Genesis Evangelion at
was
the Springville Library.
Was it the set that you have?
One of them was, and one of them was the other version the other set that was older.
Okay.
And so I looked at it, and I was like, well, they have 2 sets of this show, so it must be important.
Oh, that's too funny.
And I got it. I got a couple of the discs, and I watched them, and I was like, okay, I'm kind of hooked. And so I watched it to the end, and I had heard, like, when I was midway through the show, I was talking to my friend about it. He's like, yeah, my sister watched that, and I watched it with her. The ending is really weird.
Yeah.
And then I watched it, and the ending was really weird. But I got super into that show.
See, I think that was around-ish the time, at least the animation style of my favorite anime, Yu Yu Hakusho, and that is an older Japanese animation style. Man, just...
King Caesar Search, 3, 2, 1, go.
That, and I've been meaning for months now to watch Fist in the North Star. I'm addicted to the way they used to animate stuff because the general human model in anime has changed. Like the newer stuff looks different than that. Neon Genesis Evangelion is really, really pretty.
But anyway, nothing has yet, any anime thing I have watched has ever come close to Neon Genesis Evangelion. And the thing is, what pulled me the most to Neon Genesis, because I was into it anyway, but the second half of the series where it gets really psychological and dark and weird, of course those are the movies I freaking like. I like dark movies. I do. So I have like an attraction to those. And so when it was going into that stuff, and like the one part where Shinji has to like kill his friend, which I was just reminded of, or his robot's doing it and he can't stop it, and it's going nutso, and there's different scenes, of course, in that show that are like crazy and really intense and really amazing dramatically. It was just anime on another level, and nothing has come to really match that for me. And I think it's an amazing show. I rewatched it. It's an amazing show. The early part of the series, after the first it has 4 really good episodes at the beginning that get you hooked into the superficial story.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Then it kind of goes into anime schlock territory for a second. Has some fan servicey type stuff. And then it gets kind of sexual and comedic.
I feel like the next part, what you're about to say, is it pulls the curtain off, and it's like, this is what this series is really about. So if you're going to keep going, well, here's what you're in for.
And then it gets dark midway through the series, up and through the end.
I think, because I've only watched it once, I think it was at the point where you start getting inklings, or you're confirmed kind of what the father actually has been doing.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, okay, or... the lady who's caring for Shinji, is that his name?
Yeah.
She's suspecting things. When it gets dark,
Misato is her name.
Oh my gosh, I love her. She's probably my favorite character.
Great.
But I'm trying to think of stuff that you like then. I know many people recommend everything to you, but I know you've seen Death Note, the movie.
I'm not interested in anything that's gone on for 12 years.
Oh no, Death Note. But you need to, because you've only watched the movie, which I've heard wasn't that
great.
The
Japanese movie,
and it's extremely. Any live action adaptation of an anime is it's just fan service. They do it just for fans of it, and you can never capture the actual. Okay, King Caesar's Search.
Okay. Oops, I cursed. Torema versus Godzilla 3, 2, 1, go.
No. King Caesar's Search.
What? Lies.
Yeah,
How do I get out of
here? Go clear to the end.
Okay.
Sorry, guys. Technical difficulties. We'll be returning shortly. Wait. Back, info pane, zoom, display mode, audio. I don't know. Go back to the... How do we get back? Oh, there. Main menu. Sorry. King Caesar's Search.
I thought we just did. We did King Caesar's Search.
You're 1,000%
I promise.
Sure? Okay, all right.
Torema versus Godzilla 3, 2, 1. There was nothing in the episode. It was just
there has been nothing in any of these episodes.
No, they're talking and
monsters are fighting.
There's no new monsters. They're just...
Yeah, we've seen the same monsters. If anything really interesting happens, guys, because we are paying attention as much as it doesn't seem like it.
We're looking at it.
Yeah, we will stop and be like, oh, this seems interesting.
Paying attention. I'm not. I'm looking at it.
Death Note, the whole story arc through L's demise, which is inevitable, so it's not a spoiler. I don't consider it. That's amazing. It's very short. It's maybe 20, 30 episodes. And Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, that whole series.
She's just on a green screen. She's walking through a forest. She's only on a green screen.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what else could there be? I don't know. At least just style-wise, I love Bleach. The music to Bleach is one of my favorite soundtracks to an anime. I don't know really what else appealed to me. Attack on Titan is not overrated. The very first episode stuff happens in Attack on Titan.
That sounds like it's been on forever. And
no, they just barely came out with season 2. Barely came out with it here. It's been out for quite a while. But Attack on Titan was the one anime that I was able to get all of my friends who don't watch anime at all into, because it was please, it's really good. They watched it and we discussed it endlessly. That was clear back when it very first hit Netflix years ago. But and my fiance, who's never watched an anime in her life, has watched Attack on Titan. That's the one she's watched.
Okay.
So
Attack on Titan, then... I know you told me to watch One Punch Man.
Good. One Punch Man is so short. It's maybe 10 episodes, 15 max.
Right.
And the whole time you'll just be it's super hilarious.
We have to watch... I think we have to watch Attack on Titan for the show, Drew.
We'll have to watch the movie. You should first watch because the movie is atrocious and takes extreme artistic liberties with both the story and all the characters.
Well, maybe I should watch it without watching the series, so I don't care. It's kind of like me watching...
It's just not good.
The Death Note movie. I liked it.
Okay, then and then afterward,
I went to my Japanese class, and I was like, oh, I watched another movie. They're like, what one? I was like,
I swear,
Death Note.
people say people talk about Black Butler
terrible.
and say it's good, and then I saw something about the live action version of Black Butler, and it's just live action adaptations of anime are pure fan service. That's what everyone I've seen has seemed like. They're made for no reason other than a lot of people like this, so we're going to make a live action version for the hardcore fans of said. Yeah.
She walked through the forest. Daguro was there. She shot at it. Nothing happened. And then
Next
Godzilla
episode.
was still fighting the thing he was fighting. Stop Godzilla. 3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah.
So I just really dug Neon Genesis Evangelion for the second watch. It was just
Would
so
you say,
good.
Okay, you kind of discussed what certain parts of it are like this part, it starts here and then blah, blah, blah. Is there a hook in Neon Genesis Evangelion? Because both with Attack on Titan and Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, which I will recommend forever to you, it's amazing. Is there like a point in an episode or maybe an episode where it's like, okay, I'm in?
You're in.
Yeah.
I'm not sure which episode that would have been.
Or is it, I mean, it could also just be right from the beginning because...
Well, from the beginning, you're wondering what's going on.
Yeah.
There's a part where Shinji... This could have been the first episode. It could have been the second episode where he goes, he decides that he's going to fight the angel.
Yeah, he kind of...
And then he goes, I'll do it.
Has courage.
And then suddenly the music hits up and you hear that boom, boom, boom. You hear the big dramatic drum beats and it's like, oh, now the series is locked in.
Yeah.
So whenever that was, I'm trying to remember. It does it in the Rebuild movie too, the remake that they've got a movie series on, which I like as well. It's different, but I like it.
What are the name? I forget. What are the names of the mechas that are not really mechas that they pilot? What are they called? Avas. Okay.
Yeah.
Just the look of the fighting and the bad guys, the angels in that series, that hooked me because I was like, and again, I really like the older animation
that's only
style.
The superficial part of the plot too. It's
and then when it got dark, it just got better for me because I really enjoy a David Lynch film. So I'm like, this is going
and it's nuts,
super dark and nuts.
You know what? It was a lot like, and even more. I'm listening to a book on 2001: A Space Odyssey, the making of it. A book that just barely came out, so that there was one review for the audiobook when I got it on Audible.
What's it called? Because that might be my next
Audible. It was
Audible.
2001.
I'm listening to All the President's Men right now.
Did you watch the movie?
Yes, I watched the movie, and then
isn't that the best movie ever?
That made me want to listen to the book.
Sorry. It's just called. I know the big title is 2001. Oh, it's just called Space Odyssey by Michael Benson.
I'm seeing a recolored
Stanley
Mogura.
Kubrick, Arthur C. Clarke, and the making of a masterpiece is what it's called.
Okay. Has it been pretty good? Because 2001
it's been really revealing.
Sci-fi
but you know what? The ending of 2001 and ending of Neon Genesis Evangelion in plot, even though they don't... In 2001, they don't say what's going on at all. And in Neon Genesis Evangelion, they hardly say what's going on.
Well, it's just flashing.
They are similar in that way.
Okay, it's images.
Hurry, King Caesar, 3, 2, 1, go.
And I think we're going to have more shorts in this episode. We're definitely going to need to go to the right.
Yeah.
What I gathered from back to Godzilla for a moment.
Okay.
At the end of that last short, Godzilla has red eyes. The Godzilla figure that was fighting against Mogura and another monster. I can't remember which monster it was. There's a Force Ghost is actually what it looks like of Space Godzilla behind Godzilla. So implying, and Godzilla had red eyes, implying he is being controlled by Space Godzilla to fight these other monsters. And I believe the other two monsters were good monsters. And so they are the good ones, and they're fighting Godzilla. Yeah,
and she's pleading King Caesar, I'm assuming, just to stop everything.
Please stop Godzilla.
Yeah, so there's Mecha Godzilla, and then there's bird Mecha Godzilla.
That's Mogura. Yeah, from we've done an episode commentary on it. I can't I can picture it was the one with the beetle, the ladybug colored aliens.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, the Mysterians?
Yep, Mysterians.
That's why I'm not getting it, because it's not a Godzilla monster.
Exactly. And it's an updated Mogura. It's the Mogura from...
It looks different, but still, yeah, I can see it now. Thank you.
Yeah. So we've seen
Thank you. I was like, what is this stupid looking Mecha Godzilla?
What's this dumb looking thing?
Okay, so 2001: A Space Odyssey and Neon Genesis Evangelion have a very similar last act. It's both in feeling and in actual plot.
Its characters. The thing may actually be occurring, but it's definitely happening in their heads, like just crazy stuff that visually for me is beyond appealing. Like I love the end of 2001: A Space Odyssey because I'm like, this is magnificent. I could watch this for just insane stuff going on that you get to watch.
But anyway, I found out what the Space Baby is because of this book. Okay. I found out it's actual, like, I guess people who would have read Arthur C. Clarke's book would know what it is. I didn't know what it was, and it's the same thing as human instrumentality. It's like the same thing.
I'm going to have to look up whatever that is.
After we're done with the commentary, in order not to spoil it for people, I could talk to you about it.
Okay.
But in any case, after I kind of saw it through that lens, those last 2 episodes, I was like, why did they even make a movie? But I ordered the movie. I got it on eBay for $25. So
wait, which movie are you?
The End of Evangelion. So it's a movie that Ono made in response to fans being really pissed off about the ending of the series.
Gotcha.
And so
I'm guessing he didn't want to make that movie.
The ending, no, he didn't. Okay. At least according to Baindrum, that's where I got that information that he didn't want to make it.
To the right. Godzilla controlled by Space Godzilla.
Way to go, Nashi. 3, 2, 1, go.
Took out, and Godzilla's atomic breath was red, so very obviously not Godzilla. Took out Mothra, Leo, and Mothra.
Yeah. Go. So he made a movie that was everything that was taking place externally.
Oh, okay.
In the movie version, while the episodes are still what's going on inside of the characters' heads when they're making a certain decision at the end of the series.
Yeah.
I part of me just like, well, I get it now. I wish it was a little bit more clear in the show, and I wish I had like one scene taking place in the real world so that I could orient myself.
Gotcha.
But otherwise, I was just like, I think that ending might have been just genius, and I just needed the aid of Wikipedia to help me.
Honestly, even if endings like that don't fully work, I love them because they're just so out of left field. Yeah. Like in 2001: A Space Odyssey, it just happens, and you let it wash over you and enjoy it. And even if you don't enjoy it, by the end, I'm like, you know what? I thought that was like too far or out there, but I didn't expect it, so I enjoy it.
At least at the end, you're like, what was that?
Yeah,
like, you
exactly.
Can talk about it.
You can interpret it.
And if you're really paying attention, I guess you can tell other people what it means.
Yeah. Or you can, as Joe's been doing, look up external information to figure out what the heck was going on.
Well, yeah, there was one thing
because you have to, otherwise you're not ever going to get it.
That I just didn't get before. Like it was explained, but I never paid attention enough just to really.
Media like that goes so much deeper than anything that's ever going to be like immediately profitable, honestly, and it's to gain like. That to me is pure art, Joe, because it's something where somebody's doing it for art's sake. Yeah. It's obviously not to draw in like a general audience, because general audiences are going to look at that and go, what the heck was that? That was stupid.
Yeah. And I get it, because that's what I did the first time I watched it. I was like, well, everything else was great, so I'll say I loved the series.
And I enjoyed, exactly. I enjoyed Neon Genesis Evangelion. Not going to say I understood one single bit of what was happening at the end, and I was just... I was watching it pretty intensely, but at the end, I couldn't look away, and I couldn't stop. Yeah, Son of Godzilla has returned, and he needs
looking at a dirt mound. Okay.
Yep.
Just like I say, looking. He's,
Oh man,
that's what he's doing.
I am jealous of the Neon Genesis Evangelion DVDs you have. You have a very coveted set. You're jealous of your own set.
Cameron from Nude Clan asked to borrow them, and I'm like,
because
the last Target 3, 2, 1, go. They're worth a lot of money now.
You let me borrow them probably before you realize what they were worth.
They're like $300 now.
Yeah,
I bought it for $30 at FYE in Orem when they were going out of business.
That I'm aware of. I'm trying to think of, because we've mentioned on the podcast before, media we own, movies and Blu-rays, that are worth more than when we bought them. My Biolanta's going for like $80.
Yeah, man.
And I bought it for under $20. I can't remember the last I checked. Dawn of the Dead on Blu-ray was, I think, in the $50 range, and I bought it for under $10. Yeah, go through your media collection, folks who collect that stuff. Just check out
those Criterion collections when they stop printing them.
Yeah.
Like the late 90s DVDs, dude, some of those things are worth a lot.
I tried to buy, and I've got to wait for it.
Also, Criterion sale was last week. I got
that's why my Twitter feed was full of people's new Criterion stuff.
I got 6 movies.
Which movies?
That thing. I got 2 more Kurosawa movies. I never got Rashomon, so I bought Rashomon.
Okay.
I bought Ikiru. Oh, no, I bought 3. And I bought Dreams. Then I also got Blue is the Warmest Color, which is a fantastic movie. Just ignore everybody talking about how graphic the sex scenes are. The movie is amazing.
Okay.
And Tampopo, which is a hilarious comedy. It's another Japanese movie. And then I also got The Virgin Spring, which is an Ingmar Bergman film.
Okay.
Which is really great. It's about like a woman who hates this family that she is enslaved to, and she calls upon Odin to curse their family, and then terrible things happen to Max von Sydow's daughter, and then Max von Sydow gets revenge, and it's just a Middle Ages Sweden movie, and it's really powerful and really good. But yeah, so those were the movies I got, and I spent $150. It was half as much as it normally would have been.
That's how they get you.
Yeah, that is how they get you. And I was like, I just got paid. I'm good. I could do this right now.
Honestly,
I got paid,
I feel like I don't need to buy Criterion stuff because I get so many from you and Anthony.
You got your suppliers.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
okay, so nothing happened in that episode.
Son of Godzilla kind of attacked something.
Son of Godzilla attacked the mound he was looking at in the last episode.
Yeah, and Zoe talked to Dogura up in space. We're assuming it's Dogura. We don't know. Looks like Dogura. Dogura.
Mobilization Impossible, starring Tom Cruise. Starting 3, 2, 1, go.
That's what I was thinking. Oh, man. So I just barely watched South Park Season 1. So good.
Really?
Somebody was telling me.
Every time I watch Season 1, I'm like, this is ridiculous. I can't believe
ridiculous.
This was
and that's why I loved it, because of how ridiculous it was. Sometimes I'm rolling in laughter just at Cartman's reactions to things.
Well, Season 2 or 3 are legendarily not as good.
Oh, really?
And the creators know it, and it was because they were making the movie at the same time.
But
the movie is amazing.
Because I'm about 5 episodes into Season 2, and so far it's not been as funny as Season 1.
I own the movie, and it will make up for it. Have you seen the movy?
Parts of.
Gosh.
That's the one with
that was good.
That's the one with Satan and
Satan and Saddam Hussein.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Yep, then I've seen many parts of it. I've never sat and watched the full thing though. Yeah.
Oh wow, we're seeing the floor of this place. I was not ready for that.
Yeah, the set of the G-Guard command unit. It's a big set. So, we know where the budget of this film went. For the budget of this show. We just saw a part
of it we never saw before, that's all.
We've already discussed Zoe's set and how tiny it is, so.
Yeah, it's a desk.
It's something with lights around it.
Lights around it.
Lit up walls.
Is it lights or is it a green screen? It's lights.
Yeah, they're lit wall panels.
Yeah, we can see the green screen pretty well in this show.
I don't know, Joe.
He's looking at that mound again. He's attacking the mound one more time.
I've been really considering repurchasing seasons 1 through 3 of Yu Yu Hakusho on Blu-ray because I've owned them on DVD since they came out on DVD. I haven't wanted to rewatch that show since.
Why do you want it on Blu-ray? I mean, it's an animated TV show, so I don't think of like
they.
I need this in higher definition.
Well,
unless it's a bad transfer.
No. It's just that really, I mean, I'll have to check them because I haven't watched the DVDs on my 55-inch 4K TV. But certain DVDs look less crisp on a big 4K television.
That's true.
Not all of them. I've been surprised to watch DVDs where I'm like, this looks way better than this other DVD. And I had the discussion with. No, it was you when we were watching Godzilla vs. Mothra.
Older DVDs, man.
Exactly.
Older DVDs, they didn't care about the transfer as much.
Not at all, yeah. And I think it also, not just older, but certain movies. Yeah. Certain companies producing certain movies do them on higher quality than other DVDs.
Yep. It's true. Another point is that, it's made for a different type of TV. And then when you some DVDs, of course, it was made for like a full screen presentation.
Yeah.
And whenever that happens, the image stretches, or you have to zoom in, do your zoom
That's why
function.
I have to be real careful.
And whenever that happens, there's going to be a lot of digital like noise in there. It's just not going to be as good. Separation in 3, 2, 1,
and they
go.
spelled separation wrong.
Yes, they did. They spelled it like I probably would spell it.
I've been kind of going back and forth whether this is Joe. Joe buys 6 Criterion Collection movies. Obviously of high note and
you know why I buy
very
them,
well respected movies.
Do you know why I buy?
Because you
those
like movies?
First off, I do like them.
I
Second
consider...
off, if I'm writing something or if I just feel like studying a certain aspect of cinema, I'll pick one of the, like I'll pick up Citizen Kane on my shelf. I got a really nice version of Citizen Kane.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm going to watch this, not just because it's a good movie or anything like that, but because there's things to study here. And with the deep Blu-ray or whatever, I have control over everything. But the real reason I get those things is so I can go, dude, you need to watch Ikiru.
And here you go.
Here you go. Here it is right here. It's for you.
For me, when I buy something on Criterion, which I bought Night of the Living Dead, which is it's a public domain movie, and Godzilla.
I was thinking about that one.
I want
at the thing, and I was like,
and it's
next time there's a Criterion sale.
It's on Filmstruck, man, which kind of killed me a little bit. I mean, But anyway, because I want to
rotate on Filmstruck. They don't stay on all the time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I want to own the definitive version of whatever it is I really want to own, and I consider the Criterion version the definitive version.
Yeah.
So,
Godzilla has a crown.
No, it's that they were...
What?
They were exorcising the demon out of Godzilla. They put like a little... Have you never seen that? When they literally exorcise demons in Japan, they put like a little... a note of paper with some words written on it, and in order to exorcise demons. So they put that particular piece of parchment with whatever was written on it on Godzilla's forehead, and it exorcised. That's an exorcist term, not exorcised. Exorcised Space Godzilla out of Godzilla because he was being possessed.
Which, by the way, you still haven't seen The Exorcist, is that correct?
Very unfortunately. I also need to watch Poltergeist.
And we had the same reasons. We heard it was like way too scary and also weren't allowed, I'm sure.
For me, it was. I attempted to watch it on television when it was shown, obviously heavily edited when I was like 13 or 14, really starting to get into scary movies. I couldn't watch it. It scared me too much.
It's legitimately scary, Drew. Mm-hmm. I will say that. It is legitimately still scary.
At this point, man,
but
numb to it.
I thought the same thing.
No,
it feels, I would say it's not like you're going to I can't go to sleep tonight. It will
just,
be
shakes you.
It will, however, be like a really intense experience.
That was
well done, son. 3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah, Godzilla got Space Godzilla exorcised from him last episode, and I believe he fought him. And Son of Godzilla has had something to do with helping out in this whole battle.
We'll put a pin in the Exorcist thing because I'm sure this one will actually be important. This is the last episode of number 9.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Yay, we only have one more.
So this is our climax of number 9.
Have you seen The Babadook?
I have not.
That was a movie that scared the out of me. I will not watch that movie again. And all I do is watch scary movies most of the time if I'm not watching a children's television show. And so
one or the other, guys.
So yeah,
nothing in between.
I feel like if I watched The Exorcist, it would have about the same effect on me. It was definitely Space Godzilla inside of Godzilla because Space Godzilla's breath, his atomic blast, or whatever space rays he's blasting are red. I like that Space Godzilla figure. It's real imposing.
I did too. I like the design of Space Godzilla. I like him.
I heard the movie is unfortunately not so good.
Did I talk about my production company?
Yeah. Oh, you should. You have not mentioned on the podcast. Sorry, I just was real loud. I made a
production company.
Yeah.
Because
I'm
moving, and the state I'm moving to has really high taxes for LLCs and really high fees for LLCs. So I made it here in Utah.
And then you're just transferring it out there?
And I'm not even transferring it. I'm keeping it a Utah company.
Gotcha.
So if anybody hires me out, it goes to my production company, which, by the way, Space Titanium Productions.
Yes, I want to know what that logo is.
I was having trouble.
That's a mouthful. It's cool.
It doesn't matter. It's just the director's company or whatever.
Gotcha.
It's not like a, It'll be a little footnote there, but that was fun for me. Space Titanium. I was
so
going
cool,
back and
Joe.
forth between Space Titanium Productions and Regenerator G1.
I'm very happy to hear as well. Glad, happy, same thing.
I had to ask someone else's opinion. I was like, what sounds better?
I'm very content that both of your choices were Godzilla choices.
I wanted them to be deep. I wanted them to be deep.
Halo
choices.
just went over Dagara, and he was blasted off into space somehow, for some reason. Zoe's pissed.
She is. She's very mad. Your cat is also really mad. I
She
don't
is
know if they can
wailing.
hear that cat.
Yeah. Joe just moved the mic, and then she finished.
And then she stops.
That's how you get her to stop, I guess.
Okay, well, I
That
guess
was it.
Godzilla won.
Yeah.
Okay.
He always wins. This is
She was
Godzilla
mad.
Island. This is his show.
This is his island, dude.
Yeah, get
his
off
island.
Godzilla's island. I like how Godzilla is so friendly in this. He's so welcoming of the others on his island that aren't bad monsters.
Jeez.
Oh gosh, just trying to get to this arrow. We might just have to go back. You got it for a second.
No.
Yeah, we got it. Story 10.
This freaking menu, man.
The Two Sons.
The Two Sons. SUNS.
NS.
3, 2, 1, go.
What else do I got to go
Exorcist. You need to watch it. I finally watched it a few weeks ago. I did say probably on this show and on UFF. I was like, that was first off really intense and really crazy.
Yeah.
A lot of modern audiences don't really like it because the prosthetics they see are fake or whatever.
cares?
But me and you can both look past that. I know we
No,
both can.
yeah.
There's certain audiences that can't do that. I don't think they're going to be watching Godzilla movies. And there's certain audiences that do.
I'm watching all of the A Nightmare on Elm Street movies. It's all practical effects.
Yeah.
It's all prosthetic. It's gorgeous. So I can see I will like that.
It's just such a well-made movie. It's so good and it's so intense. And there's so much in there to dissect. Like,
man,
it's a movie about like faith in the modern world and
man, that's so great.
It's so good.
I
so good.
love scary movies even when they're bad. I
What is
adore
happening?
and love scary movies when they're good and are also a scary movie. So that makes me very excited to see a high quality scary movie.
We're somewhere else in this show, Drew.
Yeah, Zoe's like woken up on. Oh god, the sun is extremely
so
bright.
we just saw her in her pajamas.
Yeah, that's the first time we've
Waking
seen
up.
Zoe.
I thought it was
outs-
a flashback or a dream sequence.
Yeah, I've never seen her in like a home, which is where she appeared to be, just waking up in a normal
Yeah.
bed. Like the only
was a weird
sets
moment.
in this movie are the G-Guard command unit, Zoe's spaceship, and then we see like the sets in air quotes of like where the miniature action figures are.
Yeah.
We just saw a home that she woke up in, and I doubt we'll ever see that again. She
No.
was somewhere, but I assume it's the G-Guard command unit when she like passed out and was like laying on a table.
G-Guard command unit just has, in the sleeping quarters, it's just a normal house.
Yeah.
And
It
there's
looked-
no protection.
Yeah. They don't need it apparently. I mean,
That was just a regular house, Drew. So
Yeah,
they
it
were
was.
like, let's go on location, get 3
in a
shots.
house. The only on location, the only
Yeah,
other
dude.
on location we've gotten was in the park with Zoe and Michelle during that fight. All the scenes of the monsters are very washed out. So like the sun is bright.
Yeah,
I think her ship was about to crash because of the sun.
No, it's freeze frame, and then some announcer guy is going, next time on...
Because there are 2 suns in the sky. Yeah, how can you tell, Joe? Because you've watched television before. That's
Yeah.
how you can tell, even though this is in another language. That's just how it goes when you got to stretch out a series. Stretch it
Drew,
out.
you need to explain to me. So you got a laptop here.
It's a piece of crap, yeah.
It is totally a piece of crap. Not to offend your laptop or your cat.
I've had
Godzilla-
it since like high school. It's like a 10-year-old laptop.
Godzilla Island is drying up. 3, 2, 1, go. And you have a sticker on there, but on top of the sticker you have tape. You tape down
It wasn't
the
a
sticker.
sticker. It was just a little cardboard logo.
Oh,
You remember that?
I was like, what in the world is that? Why?
Didn't you at one time have a service that it's like a a clothing
Yeah,
service?
I got 5-4 Club.
That's
made
their
for,
symbol. 5-4 Club.
Yeah, it's.
I had it for like 2
I
months.
had a horrible experience. With 5-4.
Me as well. I as well.
They're only made for tall, skinny people, which You.
Not made for tall enough because they were too short for me.
Really?
Yep.
Okay, so they're made for between 30...
I think about your height, but like real skinny.
Yeah.
Like twig.
With a longer inseam. I have short legs.
Okay.
I need like a 28
many. I don't know. I tried it because I never get new clothes.
Me too.
The clothes that I'm wearing almost always at least 2 years old, sometimes 3 to 4.
The only shirt that ever fit. This shirt.
They
run small, so like their extra larges are really like a medium and a half. It's somewhere between a large.
You're talking
and
about Bombfell then, or no, it's not Bombfell. That's another
I'm talking
one.
about 5'4"
Club.
And then I canceled it the first month because I realized their sizes were off.
Yeah, it took me like 2 months, but
and then Drew, they kept sending them and they kept charging me, and I called them 4 months in a row.
It took me a while
getting them to actually cancel the thing, and they would say, "Okay, we've canceled it." And then I would get it again. Okay, we've canceled it. Then I would get it again, and then I had to call and be like, listen, you guys have said over and over that you've canceled it. This has not happened. And then she would be like, oh, it does say you're canceled on here, but it's still charging you? And I was like, oh my gosh. So I do not recommend 5'4" Club. I'm sorry. It's
been like at least 3 years since I've had.
They're also not really my style.
Me neither.
I'm a little bit more conservative in dress whenever I do actually get clothing.
You and I are both not flashy folks. Here behind mics.
Not really.
We're in the podcast, not looking at us, people.
I got a trucker hat on right now.
I'm wearing a tank top. Joe and I do not care.
Not today. Not today.
Yeah. When are you going to California?
You're not supposed to say the state. We've been keeping it a secret on the other shows. Way to go. It's okay. There's like, just if you hear this, guys, just don't say anything. Leaving in, it was going to be mid-September. Now it has to be late September.
Is it not obvious, though? I mean, you're going to make movies, Joe. Where else are you going to go?
It's not obvious. There are other places you can go make movies.
Okay. I just think that would be...
I have a friend of mine who is going into costuming and has a job.
I'm proud. Zaguresu's last chance.
3, 2, 1, go.
I think what happened in the last episode was Godzilla Island was drying up. That was the name of the episode.
I got a friend who is getting a costuming gig over there, and he needs someone to move with him because rent is disgusting. We're California. We're gonna live in some horrible part of Los Angeles because that's what we can afford. I have a couple grand saved up, and we'll have a little bit more saved up by the time I'm done working before our movie shoots. Mm-hmm. And what I'll be doing is just going over there and living with him. I'm not going to look for a job in the industry. I'm going to edit my movie over there and just work a regular gig.
For quite a while, for months, all I was, and this will tie into what you're talking about, I was listening to autobiographies of rock stars, I guess you could say, Anthony Kiedis, Travis Barker, Maynard James Keenan. One common thread, Joe, they all just went for it. They all went to California, lived on nothing. And you just go, you put 100% of yourself out there, and it either happens or it doesn't. And for those people, it happened to happen. And that's the way to do it.
My thing is, I just want to, if I'm closer to the industry, I'll meet more people over there.
Yeah, networking.
I know the people in this industry. It's
in
there's
Utah?
Nothing here. There's no paying gigs unless you want to do.
Well, if anything, you're going to go there to come back here if you want.
I'm not looking for gigs.
Okay.
So I'm writing and directing my own stuff.
Yeah.
I just need to be closer to the industry so I can network a little better. So that's why I'm going over there. It's not like I'm going over there with the thing where I'm going to work as a PA and work my way up. Maybe I do change my mind and try to do that.
Yeah.
That's certainly a possibility, but
you have to get your foot in the door somehow.
I'm working on the movie I'm working on.
Extremely generic
going over
advice coming from me.
Going over to the city where they actually make the stuff. So
that's awesome.
I'm not concerned with being part of it necessarily.
Charlie Day was the other person I could think of that I've heard of just doing that. He had nothing, lived nowhere, just 1,000% went for it and got a lucky break. I mean, it's hard work and extremely hard work and a lot of luck.
There's a phrase. It's there's a 10 years of hard work behind every overnight success.
I swear it's 10,000 hours. That's mastery.
It's the 10,000 hour rule. Yeah. But 10 years of hard work behind every overnight success.
Well, and the
just
amount
like
of
Charlie Day.
The amount of because that guy.
But my concern is like I'm just going to be writing and directing, and if the business wants me, it wants me. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It's not really. There's nothing I can do about it, so I might as well just do my thing. Okay.
Forest B. Forest fire outbreak. 3, 2, 1, go.
But my concern is making this movie, and then the move really is to just. I'm serious about it. I got to move.
Yeah,
I got to move to the right city.
Just the smallest fraction of your ambition would be how I've been feeling about just starting off the podcast. Where, I mean, it won't go. You're going somewhere, Joe. For me, it's like I really want to do this. This is like a third job for me, just as in amount of time I have to sink into it. So once this ends, eventually, you just go for it. Doesn't matter what it costs. Doesn't matter the hours I'm putting into it. It literally will be like a third job. Just gonna keep putting in the work
for your second podcast that you still haven't put out, right?
Well, we'd have to re-record stuff, and
I'm sorry.
Well, it's been like it was last summer we recorded about 4 episodes.
Anthony is a really knowledgeable dude when it comes to a lot of movie stuff,
and he would be great.
He would be a great person to have on if you can get him out of his shell a little bit.
Well,
more.
I think Dano will be here. I don't care. I just want it to be fun, which is what this has been for me. So we'll just. It's literally going to be the way Joe and I have this set up is we're sitting across the table from each other, screen in front of us. Anthony will be a little bit forward so that he's like actually on it. Dano's just back there. Dano's just
chilling.
Banter, dude. Yeah. Because we already tried this once and he did not contribute, as in like every single time I'm like, hey, you want to maybe, look up a little something about the movie? Comes in, oh, I don't know anything about it. I
just watched it.
Hey, that's what I did for the first few commentaries of ours, and then I'm like, crap, people listen to this? I guess I better know some stuff.
Yeah.
And we're saying that at the same time, not knowing anything about this particular series. There is nothing on this gosh dang series.
There's a red Jet Jaguar.
This is like the third Jet Jaguar. They've repurposed Jet Jaguar so far to be a medical bot, and now he's a firefighter bot because he was pure red, like fire truck red. He was shooting water. It was an animation like effect onto some fire that's there on Godzilla Island because remember, Godzilla Island's burning up. And he had what looked like, if you've ever seen a Japanese, like, I guess a firefighter is what you would just call it. He had like a basket or like a scroll, something on his back. He had ropes tied to him.
Okay.
Yeah. But Godzilla is fighting Destroya and another monster
theme song
who were taken out. Firefighter edition of Jet Jaguar.
Jet Jaguar.
That's about the only piece of memorabilia I'd want from this series. The repurposed Jet Jaguars, and literally they're just repaints of the figures, but it's like pure white. The medical one was pure white. The eyes were its normal color, probably blue or black.
The Flame for Battle returns. 3, 2, 1, go. So, anyway, so I don't have a job over there.
Yeah,
so it's going to be a temporary move first. To see if I can get employment and pay for rent.
Yeah.
And then we'll see if it turns out permanent.
I think Maynard James Keenan went out there for a job. Like he had like a pet store, his famous pet store job.
Thing,
But then he lost it while he was out there and he just kept at it. I mean, yeah.
I'm not planning on being my own industry. I'm not gonna. I don't want to.
That's the whole. As much as
I don't want to go through the thing.
I'm being a. Why? Why don't you want to do that?
Because all I want, what I want to do
control?
is writing and directing, which is what I've been working at.
Yeah, for a long time.
You can do that without being in the industry. It's independent film. Is what it is.
Yeah,
but there's people over there who work in independent film, so it's just different.
How independent do you know off the top of your head? Lee produced and made was Get Out.
I've many times gotten the piece of advice. It's like you pick the job that you want to be, and you just go for that.
See, and that's Oh, you're talking about the industry.
Yeah, I'm talking about the industry itself. So, like, the day that you're a camera operator, you'll be a camera operator forever. You're just stuck there. So that's kind of how that.
Well,
works.
But is it not at all like?
And there's blue-collar positions, there's white-collar positions. The blue-collar positions do not... It's not like the studio system was in Japan.
Yeah.
They don't really lead to the next thing. The networking leads to things, but not the actual jobs. You don't start as a PA and then go to a camera operator and then graduate to cinematographer and then graduate to director. You can go that path. That's a 25-year path.
Have you seen Sound City, that Dave Grohl?
Yeah, I have.
Okay. Then there was a recording guy that mixes people's albums who talked about starting out like cleaning in the studio. So it's not like that at all. I mean,
certain jobs
you just have to be assertive. Like, I found that out in any job. If you want to go to something, even if you're at the lowest position, dude, like, put yourself out there, try it.
Certain jobs are, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm guessing there have to be certain jobs, certain places where there is an impenetrable wall.
You can become an agent that way. That's a famous one. You start in the mailroom, and then you work your way up. And
to, like, meeting people, knowing people.
That's all still, yeah, that part of the game is still there. That's still real.
Okay, because I could just, I don't know, not knowing a single ounce about the filmmaking industry, you're a camera person.
And I only know Utah film industry, to be fair. That's all I know is this little...
Because you're a camera person, you're on set, so
Artificial
you get to see other
Week
stuff.
0.321, go.
You get to see other stuff, and you get to learn about other stuff.
Yeah.
And it's all about, like, your willingness to learn at the job. Yeah. I would think.
And your ability not to be an asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got to be a good guy.
People got to like you.
Yeah, you got to be liked.
That goes for any industry, any job. You can't get a job if the people who are going to be working around you, like whoever the upper management or just whatever team section of the industry you want to get into, if they don't like you, they don't want to work with you. Yeah. So you're not going to get employed there.
So just going to make my own movies. But I am going over there to just be around people that make that stuff.
No. All I know of you is Emmanuel's song, which is all you've made. But if that's any indication,
all I've made, technically,
that I've known, that I've seen, it's your first like real short. You know,
it was the first one where I had a team behind me.
If that's any indication,
and it had a script. And
it's going to be good. Joe's going to make some good stuff.
Oh, thank you. We're going to try to make this one movie that we're working on right now. So
the 13th Cross.
The 13th Cross.
When does that start?
Start shooting August 20th.
Okay. When do you need
through September 4th?
When do you need my car?
I need your car.
You're going to hope...
the week of August 20th.
You and your actors are going to hope that the weather calms down a bit because it has no AC.
Mm-hmm.
The person in that car is screwed.
I'm going to get a custom cover for the top of that car, for the dashboard of that car.
Yeah, go for it.
I was going to ask you if you would allow us to carve some crosses into the dashboard of the car.
I don't really care.
That's what I figured. I mean, it's like a 1980s car, so I was just like,
1990 car.
It's a 1990 car.
How many? How big?
13 little crosses.
Sure.
Well, 10 little crosses actually for that one.
Go for it.
It'll be your little memorabilia. Like, oh,
there is a sticker.
My car was used.
I've had that car for 10 years. There is a sticker. If you ever buy the larger
you're cool with
monster
it. I hope
cans,
you don't forget this and go like, "What the fuck?"
No. Larger monster cans that have the pop top that like is resealable. It's like a little slide plastic thing. They have a sticker on them that's like monster, and you have to pop it off to pop it anyway. I've had that sticker on the dash of the car pretty much since I bought it.
Okay.
So
you don't care that much?
No.
Okay, good.
Not at all.
Your car and then the car I gotta buy later on this month. So I put money into a CD and said I gotta buy a car off of this.
Okay.
And so both of our cars will have crosses carved into the dashboard.
They'll be twins.
They'll be twins.
Hey, if you make it, Joe, my car's gonna be worse.
I don't know about that.
Nah. The chances are
still a Toyota Camry from 1990. Perfect. Protect the laser gun. 3, 2, 1, go.
But it will be.
Well, if you're cool with it, I appreciate that.
It will be an
your
on-screen
car will not be the car with
prop.
a bunch of fake blood in it.
Okay.
I will have stained shit because of that.
Really? Because fake. I've had. This is going into some
Caro syrup and food coloring.
Yeah. The Behemoth concert I went to, dude. They spit blood out in the audience. I have it on like some of the. I got a hat at that concert and it's stained, but I'm like, I will never wash this hat because it's got the blood that their bassist spit out on us. I think it's Orion is his name.
It might not though. We've been going through.
I just don't know how bad.
We've been going through location stuff.
Fake blood.
And because there are certain things that I wrote in the script that we're just not going to be able to do. I've had to rewrite some sections.
Budget.
And I might have them be a little less collateral damagey. So not the crosses. The crosses staying in the car. But maybe the blood everywhere won't be the case. But it might still be.
Go for it, please. Do the more blood, the merrier.
Well, actually, no, there's certain things where it's like, we had 2 scenes where he kills somebody in a forest. And I'm like, well, I can't find the second forest location, but why not mix it up and make it the desert? Why not make one of them the desert?
Vary the location. We're in a desert.
Vary the location. Desert. And then I was like, I'm gonna go drive to the sand dunes one of these weekends and see if there's like a certain area in the sand dunes that's not that many people out there or something, and see if that would be, because that would be like, first off, that would be really good for production. Like, it'll look more expensive because we're at actual sand dunes, and then they have a shootout over there, so you can just take the little air hose I have that's going to be shooting blood, and you can put it underneath the sand and then make it go, like, it pop out.
For sure.
It's like there's a ton of shit we can do.
Immediately what I thought of. That's great.
And when the tussle happens with the dudes, it'll be less dangerous. It's just sand.
True.
Then I was like, I convinced myself that like
dangerous.
A sandy area would actually be a pretty good area to have a shootout in. I might go through
all the old westerns,
drive through the San Rafael Swell and see what I can find over there as well.
Cool.
Utah talk.
Just what our international, probably mostly American audience wants.
So
talk about Utah and Joe's unmade film.
I mean, it's coming together. We're cast except for one role. We still need to find a guy for. But yeah, we're moving forward. Got some positive feedback from the actors on the script. So
good.
That was good. That was good to hear.
Shoot, Torema.
Jeez.
And we can't get... Oh, there we are.
3, 2, 1, go.
Torema, I believe, is the name of our G-Guard Commander, General Sushi.
Yeah.
I think so.
Another thing about that movie, so we were having trouble getting sound equipment.
Joe could talk endlessly about it.
We were thinking about, this is what I've been working on when I'm not at FedEx. All I'm working on is like trying to get this movie set up.
That's so cool. Follow your passions, people.
One of the things was like sound equipment, so we couldn't find a sound guy that had his own equipment that we could afford. So we realized we had half the equipment. We just had to buy the other half of the equipment for sound.
Yeah.
So instead of costing $980, which would be our estimate for getting all the sound and renting the sound equipment equipment's only going to cost us like $300. And that was a nice little positive thing. So guys, a boom pole, the mic, the thing that protects the mic, they call it the blimp, as well as the dead cat, which is the fuzzy thing that goes over the blimp, over the mic. And then the digital recorder, we're going to get a Zoom H4n. So it's like the upgraded version of the thing we actually use for the podcast. That'll be going into there. Anyway, that all costs money. And if you have to rent that equipment, which most people do rent equipment for movies, they don't usually own their own equipment. Like, no one owns their own camera. That's very rare.
It's for independent film that's low budget, beginning
for any film, basically. Yeah. And all that costs money. We're just like looking for ways to save things. Luckily, we already have our camera. We got a what is the name of the camera? It's pretty comparable to the Red Scarlet, only it's in 4K, so we have 4K image, which is nice.
Cool. I'm gonna be able to watch in 4K on my TV.
Maybe not. But we got that, and then we'll have our sound equipment. We could basically, and we already have like 3 lighting kits. We'll be able to do mostly everything that we could do on a manual song, only without having to wait for other people's crap. So that was
I can't remember what film it was. I'm torn between Evil Dead or David Lynch's first film, and maybe someone else's early first film. But what they did to rent the equipment, I think they knew somebody or they worked at a place where the equipment could be rented, and they did it cheaper. So they already got it a little cheaper because they knew somebody or worked there. And they rented it on Fridays because it wasn't open on the weekends. So they could have it an extra 2 days and return it Monday for the same price.
I think Christopher Nolan's first film, he worked at a TV place.
That might be it.
He borrowed the cameras over the weekend and shot following over weekends over like the course of a year.
It's smart. I mean, again, with the dedication, there you go.
Well, we're not doing the over the course of the year. It's a 2.5 week shoot. So it's 14-day
there's a way.
excursion. A critical moment. 3, 2, 1, go.
What happened?
With Sundays off.
So what has happened in this thus far? I think that Zoe is invading and they're awaiting her to invade. They built like a big laser, or it was already there and it just came out of the ground on Godzilla Island. There took like an entire episode of this laser charging up. It had like a percentage meter. And then in the next episode, which was our last one, they were waiting for Zoe to come down, and Michelle was like at the cannon ready to shoot. And before Zoe got there, she accidentally shot the cannon, and the percentage of her laser went down to 0. And then Zoe invaded and is like, haha, now you can't shoot me. It was real climactic. Not.
Speaking of the Utah film industry.
Yeah.
So Hereditary was shot here, right?
I still want to see that so bad. Okay, list of films I need to see.
So good.
Quiet Place, Annihilation, Hereditary.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, all 3 of those.
Yeah,
those
I really want to see all
really
those
good
movies. It takes me a year, usually. I get them when they're
that movie pass and then be like, I have to. So one of the people that worked on that movie I do know from film school, and I had a crush on. And then yeah, I know. It's terrible. It's terrible, Drew. She I think I went to your house the day this happened. She like pretended she didn't know me at Barnes and Noble. I was like, what the so I came.
But was it like extremely and aggressive?
No,
I didn't know you.
It wasn't an aggressive. It was like oh hi. Oh, I'm gonna pretend like I don't know you, even though we spent days together.
I have more than a hint of social anxiety, Joe. So when I'm out in public, I'm always wearing headphones like these. Mm-hmm. Like when I'm alone grocery shopping or at, say, Barnes & Noble. If I see somebody
we
that I know...
had a good chat, and she's like, I worked on Hereditary. You should go see it. And that was when it was in Sundance. It wasn't out yet. It wasn't even going to have a theatrical release yet.
I was talking about just accidentally making eye contact with somebody I know and brushing it off. But if you actually had like a conversation with her... But she acted like she didn't know.
At the beginning, she acted like she was pretending not to know me. Here's the thing that bugs me, Drew.
Was it because she couldn't remember your name?
I have in my phone drunk texts from her talking from Facebook. Large conversations with this girl.
Why she's embarrassed.
She must be embarrassed because she did that.
Yeah,
I get
I
that.
Would be
but she's pretending I'm not happy with that. So I saw her credit on her Hereditary and was like, damn it. That was a good embarrassing. I didn't have a crush on her when I saw her in Barnes & Noble, but I had a crush on her before. And I was like, that disappoints me. Shoot the fake sun, 3, 2, 1, go.
No, Joe's love life. You get a little bit of everything in a podcast.
Not really a love life there. It was just,
commentaries, very loose commentaries on this Godzilla Island.
I also found out she was really into LSD, and that's when I stopped having a crush on her.
Anybody who's really into LSD, man, you've got to look out for. Yeah,
I'm good
because I know plenty of people who have done it once to be like done it. When you're really into something that's that far out there,
it's when it's that far out, bro.
It's like an experience.
Release your mind.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was my turn off moment. I was like, I'm good.
It's a good turn off moment.
I was still like,
you are a wise
not happy
person.
with the fact that
good judgment, Joe.
It's like, damn it, she drunk texted me, which means that there was in her drunken state, there was just a little bit of interest.
Joe, don't think too much.
In her drunken state, there was just a tiny bit. And so I was like, oh, it might be reciprocal. And then nothing happened. And then a few months later, saw her at Barnes & Noble. We had that exchange.
Anybody else who's having...
No, I'm mad at her.
Love problems.
But Hereditary's great, and I'm not going to hold it against her.
I don't know the next words to that song.
Not love. There wasn't enough there. No.
Flirtation. Not
even really flirtation. It was
drunk text her.
Drunk text.
That's like the modern version of that song.
It's
so casual. Not even
that.
There's no commitment there at all. Yeah.
Yeah.
Megalon and Destroyer are being hurt by Godzilla. Oh, Godzilla's powering up the laser that she's using to fight Zoe.
Drew, I have a sweat. I'm breaking out in a sweat right now.
I will bring the fan in next time. I'm sorry, Joe. It is triple digits outside.
It's hot and it's humid, man.
My fiance says it's hot down here, so I believe you because I don't feel it, but she told me it's hot down here yesterday.
It's hot, bro.
And we're in a basement, so that tells you how hot it is out here.
Oh, let's see what temperature it actually is.
It's probably in the 90s. I think
it is 95 right now.
Yep. It hit
raining.
103 today, I heard. It's supposed to rain all week, which is just going to make it muggy.
Yeah,
rain all week and triple digits.
I don't know if we'll get both. I'm sure if it rains enough, the cloud cover, it will cool down to like the
I just think it's
80s.
been so hot that like rain will come, but the clouds will not be there. Like it will destroy the clouds as the rain's coming down. It's just like scorched humidity. Okay. I'm going to try. I'm going to attempt to get to our last shorts in this. I had it. You got to be real careful.
You done screwed up.
I done did bad. I've had it twice. Just so endlessly. There we go. Yay, we're done.
Oh, we are done.
So what happened in story 10 is they defeated Zoe. Wow. Well, she'll probably come back. I was wrong in thinking that Michelle would go somewhere and Zoe would become a good guy because that's too much nuance, too much character development for Godzilla Island.
I did come here after that and was like, this girl that I met, like she pretended she didn't know me. I spent a lot of time with her. I was like, what the?
That's horrible.
What is this?
She sounds beneath you, Joe.
I mean, it was a nice chat.
Joe, you deserve better. You're a good guy.
I do deserve better.
As most people tell themselves, but you actually do.
I do legitimately deserve better.
You're a hardworking dude. Wearing your
my trucker hat.
That is merchandise from a podcast that you started.
It's actually Cameron's hat, but
is that available?
It's a Make Gaming Great Again hat from Nude Clan. It is technically still available. We have it on our old store.
Cool.
That's not linked to.
See, Joe.
You can find it on Cafe Press.
Oh.
There's no hats in the new store. It made me disappointed, so we didn't do Make Gaming Great Again.
Oh.
But the other store is way better. Like it's better.
Just looks better.
Loads better on computers. It's, gives us a bigger percentage. It's cheaper items. Not free shipping, unfortunately. Cafe Press had free shipping, but someday TeePublic might step up and fix that. But yeah,
Joe.
This was Godzilla Island.
That was episode or stories 8 through 10. Next time we'll be doing 11 through 13 because that is the second half of disc 2 we're on. Yeah. And that was.
And those who listen to the other podcast, don't be spreading around where I'm moving. That's like important. And also, yeah, Thanks, Drew.
I had no idea.
You weren't supposed to say that.
I don't listen to your other podcast.
I know. And we're going to have to start doing this podcast via Skype.
Yeah, it'll work out
with
somehow.
2 separate Zooms and sync the audio later. But it'll sound good. I've got a way to do it so that it's like not one line will be Skype. It's not going to be that way.
I have my own recording device,
so we'll
separate figure that out.
Use Dropbox, mix them together, and it'll be fine.
Woo!
We'll do it well. We'll do it justice.
So this podcast will continue past Joe's move, although it'll be different. We've always done them in the same room.
Yeah. It will be different.
I am interested in how our rapport will be affected by Skype calls.
I wonder that too.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Anyway, we're done here. You can tweet me at Joseph Igolier.
Tweet me at Drew Daybell or at Gojira Jaeger. That's Jaeger.
Our website is GodzillaPodcast.com. And if you want to support the show, you can check out our Patreon page.
Basically, just Google the Godzilla Podcast, and it's somewhere on the front page, I believe.
Awesome.
All right.
See you guys next time.
Bye, KBG.